Welcome along to Stockholm, Sweden. It's game day 5 of the 2019 FIBA World Cup qualifying campaign. Bottom of the group, Sweden in desperate need of a win at home to third place Latvia. A very warm welcome to the Swedish capital from me, Tim Long, for what has the potential to be a tight and tense tussle between two teams scrapping to avoid early elimination from these World Cup qualifiers. Sweden just 1-3 so far, sit bottom of Group B, one win behind third place Latvia with just 2 games to play. Elsewhere in Group B today, Turkey against Ukraine tips off half an hour later than this one, and that one coming from Ankara. As we see the table as well, you can see Ukraine top, Turkey second, Latvia just in third, 1 win ahead of Sweden, but even very tight as far as Turkey making the next stage as well. They need a result or two over the final couple of games, but Sweden certainly need a result. This is the start of the third and final window in the first round of qualifiers in the new FIBA international calendar. 80 different countries competing to become one of the 32 that will go to the World Cup in China next year. It is the biggest centrally controlled basketball project of all time. 88 games taking place right across the planet in this window, and this evening we focus on the Swedish capital.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Latvia to Sweden and Stockholm. They are playing with number 2, Artos Auseis. Number 4,
An introduction of the travelling team, Latvia first. We'll get a look at their starters and their full roster in just a moment as well. They did name star players Dairis Bertens and Yannis Timmer in their preliminary squad for this window, but they haven't made the final list for various reasons. In fact, Dairis Bertens should be in attendance to watch his brother Davis, who is in the team tonight. He's injured. Yannis Timmer has family issues to attend to. And they are also without injured New York Knicks star Kristaps Porzingis. But they do have Dairis Bertens, as I say, and Yannis Strauneks as well, to add to the talent that navigated their first 4 qualifiers. A big boost for them to have those 2 names involved, ready to make their World Cup qualifiers debuts. What a reaction from the fans in Stockholm. Sweden get introduced here officially on court. They'll be in a buoyant mood tonight in front of these fans, and actually they've won 5 of their last 6 games on home soil, Sweden. Latvia have only won 2 of their last 7 on the road, so Sweden looking to take advantage of that. Not too many home names, not too many standout stars, but a team that has performed and came very close to Latvia in Riga. Lost by 9 points, but there were so many lead changes in that game. They looked at one stage in the third quarter like they were going to pull away, and they all hope that the home court advantage here this evening can help them overturn not just Latvia as a team, but overturn that 9-point deficit, because the head-to-head could, by the end of play on Sunday, be so important.
Please rise for the national anthem of Latvia. National anthem of Latvia. Please stay standing for the Swedish national anthem. Och den här framförs av en tjej som heter Caroline Liljebjörn. Applåder!
Du gamla, du fria jag vill leva, jag vill dö i Norden.
We're just a few minutes away from Sweden against Latvia, a crunch clash in the 2019 FIBA World Cup qualifiers. The pleasantries, the handshakes, before the basketball court turns into a battlefield. Two teams who've never been to the World Cup, both desperate to be there in China next year. A look at your officiating team for this one. And we should get a look at the starting lineups as well in just a moment. Sweden never qualified for a World Cup or World Championships tournament, although they did play in the 1980 Olympics in Moscow. And Latvia, the former European champion, but they are yet to go to the World Cup. As we see their roster, they've been led this far by Janis Painas, 14.8 points, 5.5 rebounds, 4.5 assists per game. He's been helped out by the captain, Yanis Blooms, and Andrzej Pasechniks, the 7'1" centre, has weighed in as well, and they've got the added presence of Davis Bertens and Yanis Strauneks, who both get the start. They play in the World Cup qualifiers for the very first time. These Swedish players will relish the opportunity to play on home court in such a big game. As we see their roster, they've been led so far by Christopher Cherepovic, 16 points, 5.3 rebounds per game over the first four qualifiers. Victor Gano-Forsch has a team high 6.8 rebounds, and Nicholas Spires has 2.5 blocks per game so far, the joint highest in qualifying in European competition. As we see their starting five, Palmblad, Hakansson, another player who could come big here, former Barcelona youth product in there, as well as a number of those key players that I've mentioned already. Quite remarkably, Sweden have had fewer turnovers than any other team in Europe through these World Cup qualifiers, just 35 across 4 games, although they're not forcing too many turnovers on their opponents either. Only 2 teams have made fewer steals so far. They will need to protect the ball well. They'll need to do a number of things well if they're to beat this Latvian side in Stockholm this evening. Sweden just 1-3 so far, started with an 8-point defeat to Ukraine on home soil here, and then a 9-point road loss to Latvia, who are coached, as we see, by Arnis Vetskavars. They shocked Turkey in Game 3, though, Sweden, won by a single point in a defensive showdown here in Stockholm, 59-58, led by that man, Vedran Bosnic, the Bosnian-Croatian coach of Sweden. They couldn't build momentum from that big win over Turkey, though. They lost by 11 to Ukraine in Kiev last time out. As for Latvia, 2-2 so far. They started with a 12-point road defeat to Turkey, and then had a string of 3 home games, beating today's opponents by 9 in Riga, 82-73 that one finished. They lost by 14 to Ukraine, but then beat Turkey by 9 in the Latvian capital. And it's the penultimate game of the first round of qualifying for these 2 nations. Sweden finish in Ankara against Turkey on Sunday, and Latvia finish against the Ukraine in Kiev. This group, Group B, looks like it will go down to the wire. Latvia with a bit of support inside this arena this evening, although they will be swamped by a sea of Swedish yellow. Final chance for the 2 head coaches to have a final word with their players before the opening tip. It was tight and tense in the first meeting between these two. Latvia pulled away in the 4th quarter to win it by 9. They twisted and turned through 12 lead changes over the first 3 quarters. 3-point shooting and free throws ultimately proved the difference. Latvia hit 10 of 23 from downtown for 44%, compared to just 6 of 19 for Sweden. They also hit 20 of 23 from the stripe for 87%. That was 13 more points at the line than Sweden. Here we go then, Sweden 53rd in the world, taking on Latvia, ranked in 16th. In a group that could be a roller coaster ride through the course of this weekend. Straunek's taking on an early jumper, long range two, drains it. It's taken him just 15 seconds or so to score his first points in World Cup qualifying. Ludvig Håkansson, the 22-year-old, moving it on. Out to this near side now to Godefors, driving in, right-hand dribble drive towards the basket, knocked away by Davis Bertens. He's come to play. It really is the kind of game where you would expect the San Antonio Spurs man to step up. Wearing the number 8 for Latvia. Has just received an offer for a third straight season at the Spurs in Texas. Sweden off the mark with their first shot of this game. And Latvia have it with Jānis Strauneks, who's looking thirsty for more here. Lovely shake and bake dribble, getting to the basket, getting the contact, and he'll go to the line for two.
First foul.
I mentioned how proficient Latvia were from the stripe in that previous meeting between these two, 20 out of 23. Strauneks is one of the best foul shot shooters in Europe. He's just finished his first season with Olympiacos in the EuroLeague. He's also one of the best long-range shooters, 42% from downtown over his 4 previous EuroLeague campaigns. He's got all 4 of Latvia's points here. Godefors with the ball on this near side for Sweden. Waiting for his teammates to make a move. It goes out to Birgander. 3-point shot for the Swedes falls short, off the mark from Håkansson. Latvia looking to stretch their early lead here. Davis Bertens looking to drive in all the way. Teardrop shot gets it to 4. Latvia have scored the first 6 points in Stockholm. Bit of pressure for Sweden already. They've only played 90 seconds. Can they finally get off the mark here? Recovered by Håkansson on this near side. Looking for some kind of room to operate. Oh, a backed in 3. That's a way to get going. Christopher Charapovic. He's shooting over 50% from downtown in these qualifiers. And that time off the backboard. Sillins inside. They play the inside-out game nicely, create some space on the far side. And the drive off the mark, though. And a chance for Sweden to close the gap, maybe even to completely make it disappear. Håkansson. Left hand towards this near side, into the paint it goes, back to the far corner. Håkansson will get the shot on the near corner. Back-to-back threes for Sweden, back in business. Down by 6 early on. They're back level in the blink of an eye. Latvia will take on the 3 this time, too long, and Sweden have a chance to take their first lead of this one. Here he is again, the number 13. Can't get that one to go, Charapovic. Artis Ate. Forced away, the 28-year-old Riga player. Another who's making his World Cup qualifiers debut. He misses the open 3. Brought down by his opposite number, Viktor Godefors. Charapovic moves it back. Håkansson. Taking the ring road around the defence, finds the open man on the perimeter, but it's an air ball thrown up by Godefors.
Substitution, Latvia. In the game for
Latvia. 2 of 9 from downtown over the qualifiers. Nicholas Spires looks set to come in at 2 meters 10, 6'11" power forward. He's the man with 10 blocks so far in qualifying. 2.5 per game. It's been a very enjoyable opening 3.5 minutes. Strauneks. It's prodding and probing, moving it on. Wants to go one-on-one, posting up here underneath Martin Meyers, and he's fouled. Centre who plays his club volleyball, club basketball, I should say, in NEC in Russia.
Substitution Sweden in the game. In matchen, expires.
He only came into the team in the last window, averaged 15 points, 6.5 rebounds and 1.5 blocks across the 2 games. He was 8 of 19 from the field. He's got his first point in this window, followed by a second. Latvia back ahead.
His first point of the game.
Hackinson. He's going to look to drive, bounce pass to this near side to Spires. The big man in the central position. Wanted the ball, but he didn't get it from Hackinson, who was off the mark from the corner again. Janis Painters, who's been their main scorer, moving it on out to this near side. Davis Bertens, their superstar, hits from the outside. Latvia up by 5. It's been the first 4.5 minutes of runs in Stockholm. 6 points for Latvia, 6 for Sweden, then 5 for Latvia. Sweden trying to spark another run here. And a big Stockholm stuff from Nicholas Spires. Here's Painters. Here he is again. Bertens can't get it to go. Well, it would have been his second 3 in a matter of seconds. Approaching the midway point of the first quarter, Latvia by 3, 11-8. First foul on Oyar Sillings, the number 4. First foul on Latvia as a team. Samba is in for the first time, the number 9. Off the mark on the drive. Here comes Straunex now. Short-handed Sweden at the moment, and Masamba takes the foul.
Thomas Masamba for the foul. Substitution Latvia in the game.
Sillins goes out. And Kaspars Vetsvagars comes in. It's a World Cup qualifying debut for him as well. Here's the hook shot. Close to the basket, off the mark. Meyers posted it well the first time, got contact and made the 2 foul shots. Couldn't get the score that time. Hackinson. A whistle on the play over on the far side. Should be the second foul on Latvia. There's 3 on Sweden already in this first quarter. In fact, it's just a correction on the shot clock. No foul. The shot clock wasn't ticking, so it's been set to 17 now. Samba to inbound to the far side. Almost stepping out of bounds there, but able to keep it in play was Hackinson. Cherepovic. The crossover, the right-hander check all the way through. Cherepovic slicing through the Latvian defence. Sweden back within touching distance. And he's got half of their 10 points. 5 already for the man who's averaged 16 through these qualifiers so far. The series of runs has continued. Sweden have scored the last 4 points to close a 5-point gap down to 1. Vetsvagars into Meyers. Meyers looking for Bertens. Bertens comes off to take the ball from him. Now Painters in the paint, twisting and turning but missing. And then a foul as the ball came back down off the rim.
Expires
with some aggressive offense inside, looking to go Cherepovic. The foul was on Spires, and that's 4 on Sweden. Still 3 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the quarter, so for the rest of that time, any foul from their defense now will send the Latvian offense to the foul line. Straunex. And it goes to Vetsvagars. Vetsvagars trying to find some space from mid-range, pulls up for the jumper and drains it. Latvia just about holding Sweden at bay in this first quarter. Chance to post up one-on-one, head fake towards the baseline, hook shot from Cherepovic, who certainly looks in the mood, off the mark this time though. Vetsvagars, moved on by Pasechniks. Here's Straunex. Pasechniks looking to set the screen. Straunex around it to the far side. Sillins just puts one up. Still had 6 seconds left on the shot clock. He was a good few feet beyond the three-point line. Tobias Borg in the game for Sweden here, finds a gap in the defense, goes all the way through but misses the layup. Vetsvagars. And a reaching foul called from behind is on Nicholas Spires. That's 2 on him already, and Sweden are at the foul limit for the first. So foul shots for Latvia to try and open up a 5-point gap again. It really is too close for comfort in Group B. Just one win separating second, third and fourth. Sweden facing elimination as it stands, but that could all change by the end of the evening. They could lift themselves off the bottom with a win of 10 points or more, which would see them edge Latvia on their head-to-head record. They could even jump into second potentially if Turkey lose to Ukraine tonight as well. It's all to play for on the final weekend of first-round fixtures. Both foul shots off the mark. Latvia by 3. Masamba. There's Borg. Gets it back on the perimeter from Godefors. Borg twisting and turning across to the far side. Outside shot over the top of the basket. Picked up by Yanis Blooms, the 36-year-old Latvian captain. He's averaged close to 14 points, 4 assists and over 1 steal per game so far in qualifying. He and Paymers have been their main men. Here goes Blooms for 3. Can't get it to go, and a foul as it came back down. And was grabbed by Masamba.
First foul. Substitution Sweden, byter Sverige, inför Sverige. Alexander Lindqvist.
Alexander Lindqvist in for the first time for Sweden, wearing the number 14. Here's Borg. Borg will take on a 3 and got nothing but nylon. Sweden back level, 13-13, final 2 minutes of the first quarter.
Defense.
Blooms on the far side, guarded by Masamba. On it goes to Paymers. Paymers looking to take on Cherepovic, out to Sillins for 3 to give Latvia the lead again. No. Now a chance for Sweden to get ahead. They've still not led in this first quarter, despite it being incredibly close. Borg will hit that last 3 to get them level. Might be thinking about another. What a crossover. Finds the pass to the cut down the baseline, but Ramstedt couldn't grab the handle on the ball. Now here comes Pasechniks down the other end, moves it to the corner, around the perimeter, back into the big man one-on-one, and the contact straight away.
Adam Ramstedt, första man. Substitution Latvia. In the game, number 19,
Emotions will be at a high tonight in Stockholm, no doubt about that. A matchup that means so much in terms of shaping this Group B. Latvia missing foul shots now. That makes them 4 of 8 from the stripe. Remember, I mentioned they were 20 of 23 in the previous meeting. Rebound secured by Cherapovic. They've missed more already here in this one than they missed in the whole of the game in Riga between these two. Beautiful ball movement to the corner. And a Swedish swish. A three-pointer for Tobias Borg. 2 threes for him off the bench, and Sweden have their first lead in Stockholm. It's a lead that forces a Latvian timeout. 39 seconds to play in the first quarter. Sweden ahead 16-13.
Pass. We must switch and keep them side. First 3 minutes we was not focused. We give them too much middle. Next play, how much seconds? 44 seconds. Okay. Listen, we're running for the side. And if you making the screen, nothing happened. Play 1-1 with it to the rim. Haydi.
Tobias Borg has very quickly become the leading scorer in this game. 6 points off the bench in just 3.5 minutes. 2 of 2 from downtown, the 3 to tie, and then the 3 for Sweden to take their first lead. The biggest margin has been just 6 points in this one, but Latvia have led for just about the entirety until now. Sillins trapped at centre court, couldn't find a way out and turns it over off the back of the timeout. Certainly not what coach Arnis Vetskavars was looking for. No opportunity whatsoever to implement another play the Latvian head coach was thinking about. Here's Borg again, he's got the hot hand right now. And he gets contact. The third foul on Latvia, only 23.4 seconds remaining in the quarter. Thomas Masamba, the 33-year-old, inbounds the ball. Taken by Borg, playing with a real spring in his step right now. The 24-year-old drives inside, finds an open shooter mid-range, off the mark from Ramstedt though. In the final seconds here for Latvia to try and close the gap, or maybe even tie level. They kick it out for the 3. It's Sillins at the buzzer, got it. Latvia level, dealing the last blow of the first quarter. Ojar Sillins ties it up at 16-16. He was just 1 of 8 from the field in qualifying before that buzzer-beating 3. End of 1, Sweden 16, Latvia 16. We've had a little taster as to how this one might well go down over the course of the evening. Scoring game so far, but a very entertaining one. You see the overall team numbers. Sweden struggling on the inside, but 4 of 10 from downtown. Latvia struggling at the line, just 4 of 8, having only missed 3 out of 23 attempts in the matchup between these two in Riga. Janis Strelnieks got Latvia going very early with a long-range 2, 15 seconds into his World Cup qualifying debut. Cherapovic scored his first points with a banked 3-pointer. Spires scored the only dunk of the night so far. Cherapovic carrying the weight of a nation on his back early on, but then Up stepped Tobias Borg off the bench to take the responsibility from him. Kasper Svetsbergars in off the bench for Latvia, hitting a shot. His first in World Cup qualifying, and then it was Borg's moment to steal the spotlight. A three-pointer to get them level, and another one to give Sweden their first lead.
Team Sweden and Team
And that was just 40 seconds or so of the quarter remaining. He's got 6 points. Joropovic has 5. Davis Bertens with 5 so far to lead the way for Latvia. Sweden start quarter 2 with the ball. Oh, denied. Silin's got a hand up. Now a chance to spring on the fast break for Latvia. Straunex to Bertens. Now Silins, who at the buzzer-beating 3 to tie us up at the end of the first. Here's Straunex. Chance to shoot for Smits, who got it to go from the outside. Roland Smits with his first score. The 23-year-old Barcelona player up and running on the evening. And Latvia back ahead. Latvia 3 of 9 from downtown now. Samba. It's a good look for 3. Simple play, wouldn't go though. Chance now for Lomash to drive. Samba trying to stop him. Ankle breaker of a crossover. And what a big finish from Ariel Silins. The Silins-sized sizzler of a dunk. Off the crossover and pass from Lomash. Timeout called by Sweden.
Tänker skjuta ut lite t-shirt som det är någon som är sugen. Om det är någon som är sugen så kommer Moose Nation att skjuta ut lite t-shirts med sin kanon.
We allow that 1-3 for pop. We must go from the weak side. From 5 times, 1 time will be pop. Weak side, we are there. Or switch immediately with 4. Listen, offensively, not just shot. Beat them, attack the rim. We can win with shot. Yes, now we will play. We will play 1 good 4. Victor play 4 to the middle with pass. If we don't
Transition, viņi netiek galā.
There's not been many, if any, points in this one so far where the two teams have traded baskets. It's been a game of runs of 4, 5 and 6 points. Latvia scored the first 6, Sweden the next 6, Latvia the next 5, Sweden the next 4. Sweden then had those back-to-back threes, a 6-point run to get in front for the first time, and since then, Latvia have scored the last 8. A 3 to tie at the death in the first quarter, in the first 5 points of the second. Samba, 7.5 points, 3 assists per game in qualifying so far. Moved on here to Spires. Spires forced away by the double team across to the far side. Shot clock winding down to the final few seconds here. 3-point shot, a couple of feet back. Nothing but net for Anton Gonefors. Sweden back in business. First points of the second quarter for them. Straunex moving it on to Davis Bertens, the 2 new stars of this Latvian team in terms of qualifying. Both making their debuts in qualifying tonight. Here's Straunex. The buzzer's going to expire on him. He got it away in time, but couldn't score. Spires then the big rebound underneath. Sweden a chance to tie from 5 down. Samba. Quick foul from behind by Richards Lomash.
Richards Lomash.
It's the first foul of the second quarter. It's taken 2 minutes.
Boxingmatchen för Sverige, Simon Rydander.
Håkansson. Bounce pass into the lane, forced up and in with the contact from Simon Biergander, the 20-year-old with a chance at a 3-point play. And Sweden have extinguished that 5-point Latvian lead. This back and forth game of runs continues. Latvia's 8-point unanswered run has now been stopped by a 7-point Swedish surge.
Latvia in the game. That is Spain.
22-21 Sweden. Painers to hand it off. Straunics. So light and nippy on his feet, the number 13, Janis Straunics. Quick pass inside. Meyers trying to get right underneath the hole, off the backboard. Veteran move that. And Martin Meyers. Now maybe we'll have a series of lead changes. There were 12 lead changes between these two in Riga. 3-point shot. They've knocked down another one, Sweden. Got a push again. 2 of 2 from the outside, both of them coming in this second quarter. And Sweden is shooting close to 50% from the outside. Straunics, delightful trajectory on that shot. And now they're neck and neck.
6 points in the game.
6 points for Janis Straunics. 25-25. He's got a force, getting inside, couldn't finish closer to the basket, grabbed underneath by Biergander, but he couldn't hold on to it or do anything with it. Only a small contribution from Simon Biergander in qualifying so far, 13.5 minutes per game across 2 previous qualifiers. And what a big score to get that 3-point play. Painter's across to the far side. They'll try and attack inside now. The pass away from the near double team. Outside shot. Free on the perimeter was Artis Ate. Latvia starting to knock down the long ranges as well now. 5 of 12 from the outside for them. There's an offensive foul against Sweden. So they turn the ball over. The team with the fewest turnovers in European qualification. Here's the 3 for Ate. It's 3 turnovers on Sweden now. Latvia have only had 1, so they're giving Sweden a taste of their own medicine. Meyers. Straunics getting away so quickly, floats it in, beautifully done from Janis Straunics.
8 points in the game.
8 points now for Straunics. He's had a couple of those teardrops as well. Håkansson attacking, getting contact along the way, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Artis Ate, first foul.
Ludvig Håkansson, who plays his club basketball with Movistar Estudiantes. In the Basketball Champions League this season, he had 4.9 points, 2.2 assists per game. He's a product of the Barcelona academy, having moved to Catalonia from Sweden as a 15-year-old. 6.8 points, 3.3 rebounds, 3 assists and 1.3 steals over the first 4 qualifiers, but he hasn't been shooting the ball well for his national team, just 29% from the field. Big couple of points there from the foul line for him. Sweden 3 of 3. Straunics bounce pass, although Meyers just couldn't grab the ball. It would have opened up for the dunk for him had he been able to grab the handle on the basketball. Latvia by 3 as we approach the midway point of the second quarter. Håkansson. The 22-year-old gets it back, moves it on. Palmblad trying to get through, turns it over. So 2 turnovers in about a minute for Sweden. Doubles their tally of turnovers in the game to 4. Painers looking to run the play for Latvia, moves it onto the far side. Beautiful elevation to hang and hit for Janis Straunics. He's up to 10 points and he's really showing his class here. Čerepović moves it on to Håkansson. Stranick's now the leading scorer in this one. Čerepović across to the far side. Shot clock down to the final 5 seconds here for Sweden. Aggressive move towards the basket and the foul drawn on Roland Smits.
Roland Smits, second foul.
Gannefors showing his athleticism and length.
Smits
Smits picks up his second foul. Latvia on 4 fouls in the second quarter, and we're only just over the midway point of it. So for the next 4 minutes and 54 seconds, any foul from their defence will send the Swedish offensive player to the foul line. Sweden 4 of 4 at the stripe so far. Three-point game again. This one has been very tight indeed through the first 15 minutes. Payne's trying to drive, got hit from the side by Musamba.
He's got first Lapovic. First foul.
Looking to bully his way inside against the double team there was Mayers. Missed the shot though. It will still be Latvian ball. Didn't touch the rim, so 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock by the looks of it. There's Stranick's the man of the moment to inbound. Jonas Paynes going one way and then the other through the double team. Stranick's, it's going to be a long 2. He's draining everything right now. Janis Stranick's putting on a shooting clinic here in the second quarter. 12 points now for the Olympiacos man. 5 of 7 from the field. Bounce pass off the baseline goes astray. It's 5 on 4 for Latvia here. Getting back quickly into position though was Gannefors. Paynes just pulls up on the perimeter and knocks down another. Latvia stretching their advantage to 8 points. It's the largest lead of the game for either team. And one that will force a Sweden timeout. They had a fast break opportunity against short-handed Sweden. And Janis Paynes, the ball handler, was the man left open.
Any pick and roll, you are so far. Our fullback, he's shooting easy. We must attack him and go from weak side here. He's shooting easy. They can run with him, but you must be closer. You and another 2 also. Listen now. Spacing, we stop a little bit. We're using first screen here. Doesn't matter. And then nothing happened. We need to swing from the side to side. I'm on. One good three.
Te bija piespēle apakaļ, tu neatnāc nepakaļ. Atceries? Jā, bet kurš tad palīdzēs šeit? Nevienu vairs nav. Masamba, viņš nav tik labs metējs kā tas Žeks. Saprot? Pabiedē, un tad ies atpakaļ. Tu paliec 1 ar 2. Let's go.
16-16 at the end of the first quarter. Latvia have poured in 21 points already here in the second, with still 4 minutes of it to play. And Janis Stranick's the man who has sparked this surge. It's all scorers in the game with 12 points, 5 of 7 from the field, all 5 of those from 2-point range. He's got a couple from the line as well, a couple of assists to add to his stat line too. Swedish fans in the capital trying to get right behind their team, now trailing by 8. Håkansson, shot clock to 5, left-hand dribble drive. What a turn that was, chose not to shoot himself. Musamba 3 for 3, but misses it.
Defense!
Håkansson did all the hard work, chose to pass up the responsibility of shooting. Paynes looking for the cut to the basket. Pocket pick though by Thomas Musamba, who bursts forward. Good transition defense though from Latvia. Håkansson. He's going to drive in again, and this time I think he was looking to shoot and he got fouled by Vetsvagas. Very quick off the mark, the 22-year-old Ludvig Håkansson. The foul was called on the shot, so he will get 2 from the strike to try and chip away at this Latvian lead. Five points so far for Håkansson, 2 of 2 from the strike. Sweden has a team of 5 of 5. They don't want to let Latvia build up much more of a lead than this. They could do with getting a few points to stop this Latvian run. Gets them both. It's a 6-point game. Vetsvagas. Meyers hands it off on the perimeter to Paynes. Davis Bertens hits a 3. He's quietly gone about his business, but he's got 8 points here in the first half. Håkansson, bounce pass, wide open, lane for the takeoff from Simon Birgander. Had the freedom of the paint to finish Birgander as he got away off the nice bounce pass from Håkansson. That should lift Sweden.
Garie pie tā flēta neiet tik daudz. Ejam drusku zemāk. Mazie sītaties ārā caur to bloku un to pustālo jums jāpaņem.
Sevišķi uz to pusi, ja tur tīsā nevar nekādīgi. Ja tur ir
Viņš iet uz šejienu, tad viss garais, tad viņu pavada un no šīs puses jums jāsagaida. Un te ir 2 starp 3 cilvēkiem. Neatstājiet sodlaukumu tukšu.
Hey, listen, they will play that play with the fake layup, or they will give the pass on handoff. Next play, immediately horse down. Immediately, and then continue. If you have shot, if not, continue. Screen and slip.
Is there anyone cheering for Latvia in the audience? Can I hear you, please?
Both of these teams have already outscored their totals from the first quarter. It's still nearly 3 minutes of the second to play. Sweden so well supported in Stockholm. Latvia so well driven by that man wearing number 13, Janis Straunex. 12 points to lead all scorers in the game so far, but 8 as well for Davis Bertens. The 2 World Cup qualifying debutants combining for 20 of Latvia's 40. Jonas Paynes has been fairly quiet so far. There's Bertens, another one, turnaround 3. A Davis dagger to Sweden. He's up to 11. And Latvia are up by double figures for the first time. Håkansson. Approaching the final 2 minutes of the first half. Håkansson with a few challenges and plenty of contact and got it to 4. Straunex kicks it to the far side. It's another 3 off the mark this time. Big rebound, Birgander. Sweden, you feel, need a strong finish to the second quarter now. Håkansson starting to run the show on offense for them. Trying to create a bit of room to attack is Choropovic. Caught underneath, steps back, creates some room, puts it in. His first score on the wire. 5 early points, and now he's up to 7. Back-to-back scores for Sweden just when they needed it. Straunex, the burst to the basket. Taking the ring road underneath. Fades away, knocks it down from mid-range. 14 for Janis Straunex.
14 points in the game.
A minute and change remaining in the first half here. Given away, the turnover by Sweden. Now a chance to come in transition for Latvia. And Davis Bertens draws the contact with exactly 1 minute of the half remaining.
Substitution both teams. In for Latvia.
Burton's a chance to add to his very impressive tally. What a three-pointer that last one was. A foot or two back behind the line. Instant catch, turn and shot. It's 3 of 4 from downtown, 4 of 6 from the field altogether. Straunics is 6 of 6 inside. Final minute of this first half. Latvia back up by double figures. Aggressive play on the post, put in by Victor Gannafors, who is taking no prisoners there. Strong move as he took on the NBA player, Davis Bertens. Gannafors getting it to 4. He's back at the line where he's 2 of 2 so far. This is the and 1. Offensive rebound though, grabbed by Charapovic. 8 points the gap. Sweden could do with another score to go into the locker room at half-time with their heads held high. Palmblad takes on the 3, misses it at the end of the shot clock. There's around a 5-second differential between shot and game clock at the end of the first half here. Latvia by 8. Jānis Strauniks has been one of the standout stars so far, controlling the play, gets all the way through, flips it over his head, misses though, would have dropped for him that time, everything else has. This is his first miss from 2-point range. Gannafors attacking again, oh what a play! And Gannafors battering ram all the way through the Latvian defence. He's really taken on the weight of responsibility for his team over the last 2 offensive possessions. He took on absolutely everybody in his path there, and it's a chance to complete what he couldn't just a few seconds ago, a 3-point play. When he got the better of Burtons to score the 2, but then missed the and 1. This time, no problems from the strike. Just a few seconds for Strauniks to try and throw something up here from centre court. He's not going to be able to. He's suffocating one-on-one defence from Thomas Misamba. And what a first half in Stockholm. Latvia lead by 5, 47-42. A monster of a second quarter. Won by Latvia 31-26 and lit up by their 2 superstars, Davis Bertens and Jānis Strauniks, who've so far combined for 27 of their 47 points. And shooting the better percentages inside and out. Sweden better from the line though, 3 more assists for Latvia so far. Rebounding numbers pretty even, 2 more on the offensive glass for Sweden. 3 blocks for Latvia so far. Double the turnovers surprisingly for Sweden, who came in with the fewest turnovers in the whole of European qualifying. And this arena in Stockholm has been treated to a special first 20 minutes. There's 20 more to come. The largest lead has been 10 on a couple of occasions for Latvia, but halved in the final minute of that second quarter by Sweden to just 5 points. Sweden led by the 9 of Ludvig Håkansson. They've also had 7 from Christopher Charapovic and from Victor Gannafors, who came up with a couple of highlight reel plays right towards the end. There were some highlight reel dunks early on from Spires and from Biergander. They've also had 6 points from John Gannafors and 6 from Tobias Borg, who initially got them ahead with a couple of back-to-back threes. Latvia led by the 14 of Jānis Strauniks, 13 for Davis Bertens. They've done the majority of their scoring. Ojar Sillins with 5 points is their 3rd leading scorer. Half-time then in Stockholm, Sweden 42, Latvia 47. You get the feeling this one is going the distance between these 2 teams again.
Engström, Bo Persson, Staffan Persson, Gunnar Preuss, Lennart Prytz, Martin Ringström. Ja, han får komma hit också, Martin, vad roligt. Kelly Sanders, Werner Schaffer, Andreas Wiebe, Patrik Setsman, Peter Tengs, John Tillman, Jens Tillman, Lennart Widegran, Staffan Wilén, Janis Jarins, Björn Åblad, Peter Mellström, Jerry Ekdahl, Göran Eriksson, Kjell Gunnå, Christian Larsson, Erwin Musanovic, Leslie Nytter. Har de släppt hit Leslie? Okej. Mats Levin, Mikael Lindqvist, André Pläck, Dale Massamba, Viktor Garnén, Martin Metterins och Peter Andersson. Vi får nästan snacka med någon, va? Det får vi nästan göra. Alltså, Henrik Gaddefors till receptionen. Kom. Henrik Gaddefors till receptionen. Dina 2 söner saknas. Nej, jag skojar bara. Du har själv varit med i landslaget och nu har du 2 grabbar som springer här ute. Va? Hur mår man då?
Ja, jag mår bra. Givetvis stolt. De har kämpat hårt för att komma dit den här.
Är de bättre än vad du var?
Det är en kuggfråga.
Ja, det är riktigt.
De gör rätt ifrån sig idag än vad jag skulle göra idag.
Men är de bättre än vad du var när du var aktiv? Nej, du ska svara nej bara.
Nej.
Nej, exakt. Ja. För visst i helsike var det bättre förr.
Nej, det var roligt, men det var inte bättre.
Vad tror du om Sveriges chanser?
Jag tycker det ser bra ut. Man borde fortsätta att kämpa. Och sen så Stenrik så är bra jobb. Kan vi släcka honom så måste någon annan ta ansvaret istället. Så hoppas på det.
Har du något sånt där riktigt härligt landslagsminne som du skulle vilja berätta om?
Första landskampet mot forna Jugoslavien är väl alltid bra. Det var 43 sekunder när Mellström skulle knyta skorna, så det var alltid bra. Bra debut.
En stor applåd. En riktig legend det här, ska ni veta. Och bra pojkar var han också. Peter Borg. Kom här nu, Peter. Peter får en applåd också, va? Du har inte 2 grabbar på plan, men du har en i alla fall.
Ja, en liten barn här med ute.
Hur tycker du han sköter sig då?
Ja, han känns så bra. Jag tycker att hela laget kämpar på i alla fall. Vi får ju komma ihåg att det är ett riktigt bra lag vi möter. Flera av spelarna spelar i NBA, bland annat Petran som gör 14 poäng här och 13. Skjuter jättebra. Det är svårt att stoppa dem där.
Men skit ju, prata om dem. Vi ska ju prata om din grabb.
Nej, det behöver vi inte. Jag tycker hela laget gör bra ifrån sig.
Har du något sånt här härligt landslagsminne som du skulle vilja berätta om?
Ja, det är väl vi som har med. Det är ju så många legendarer med här så egentligen blir man lite larvig och prata om just någonting. Men jag kommer ihåg vi som spelade på Hovet och slog Grekland och gick sen då till EM-slutspel. Det är väl egentligen det roligaste minnet jag har. Ja.
Ja, får Peter en applåd på det? Hörrni, hjälp oss nu tillsammans och ge det här gänget en jätteapplåd! Kom igen nu! Till och med Håkan får applåder, det är härligt. Så, varsågoda gentlemän och sätt er. Jag vet att ni blir trötta i benen om ni står för länge. Ja, just det. Hej, allihopa, kom in i mitten här förresten. Vad dum jag är. Kom in i mitten här nu. Allihopa. Tillman också. Och Jens, han har inte sprungit bort sig ännu. Härligt. Kom igen. In i mitten nu. Och så på 3 så vill jag höra ett jäkla Sverige här då. Nej, vänta lite nu. 1, 2, 3. Härligt. Bra jobbat. Så, det är lite presentutdelning där nere också. För de här gamla legendarerna.
See
Welcome back to Stockholm, where Sweden trail Latvia by 5 at the break. The Latvian lead has been as many as 10 on a couple of occasions. And what a high-scoring second quarter. We had 26-31 in favour of Latvia after a 16-16 first quarter. Latvia shooting the lights out really in that first half, led by Davis Bertens and Jānis Straunieks, who've combined for 27 of their 47 points. As a team, they've shot 67% inside and 47% from downtown. Numbers that are very difficult for Sweden to try and come back from, to do what they need to do tonight, and that is win. There is the very real possibility that they could be out of any chance of making the World Cup finals if they don't win in this one tonight, and if Turkey win in Ankara against the Ukraine. Sweden scrapping for their World Cup lives. And Latvia not too comfortable in Group B either. They know that they would be in a little bit of trouble were they to lose this one. Especially as they go away on the road again on Sunday to Kiev. They don't want to leave themselves needing to win that one to stay in the hunt for the second round of qualifiers. It is the top 3, just to clarify, out of the 4 teams in the group that go through, and they carry their records through to the second round of qualifying. So not just the motivation to finish in the top 3, but the motivation there to finish with the best record possible. Latvia have called upon 2 players who they've not been able to call upon previously in these qualifiers. Jānis Straunieks there and Davis Bertens, who play at the very highest levels respectively in their continents of play, and they have played at the very highest level so far in the Swedish capital tonight. Sweden have really spread their 42 points around. 9 points for Håkansson, who's also got 4 assists to lead them in that department. He's been impressive in his 14 minutes on court. They've got 7 points apiece for Cherapovic and Gadefors. 6 points for Borg and John Gadefors. They've shown their ability to score in spurts already. This Swedish team, he scored in a spurt of his own towards the end of the second quarter. Victor Gadefors, 2 highlight reel plays, the second of which he completed with the and 1 from the foul line. 5 points that have halved the gap for Sweden, but they have to overturn in this second half. It had been 10, it's now 5. Latvia start with the ball at the start of the second half. Straunieks leading the way of all scorers with 14 points. Silins, who had the only dunk of that first half for Latvia. There's a mismatch in height there, not taken advantage of by Roland Smits. Sweden can look to close the gap further, make it a 1-possession game again. By Cherapovic to the far side. Gadefors moving it on, gets it back from Borg, lost it though, recovered by his teammates. Still 3 to shoot. They'll take on the 3, and the rim not touched. It would have been a shot clock violation. Artisate. Mayers, Straunieks, Smits moving it inside, 2 to attack in there for Mayers, kicks it back out. Shot clock down to the final 3 seconds. He forces it up against the double team, and nobody's scored yet here in the third quarter. Masamba going through the gears, kicks it back out. Gadefors moves it on, wide open look for 3, wouldn't go, the tip roller for Nicholas Spires. burning about as many calories on the bench as his players are on court, as that one rattles around and drops to take Latvia to the half-century mark. Jānis Straunieks right on the money again, 17 for him. Straunieks gets his first to go from the outside. Nice cut to the basket, and a reverse layup good for Tobias Borg. Points starting to pour now in the second half of this game. Straunieks looking to work with Meyers. The legs of the number 33. There's the pass inside from Borg's cut to the basket. One of the shortest players on court getting in, able to finish with the layup close to the rim. Suffocating defense from Sweden. They forced the turnover on Latvia. It's their 5th so far.
Meyers, second foul. Substitution, Latvia again. Jānis Blue.
Meyers goes to the bench, having just picked up his second foul. First team foul of the second half. Masamba. The move is Godefors over on the far side, looking to attack Davis Bertens. Certainly not intimidated. He's done that several times. Godefors taking on the long two this time. It's too long. And grabbed by Sillings on the rebound. Straunieks. Sillings looking inside now. Smits takes on the hook shot. Rebound grabbed by Spires. Masamba taking his time, dictating the tempo. Borg will quicken the pace. Back to Masamba. He's free on the perimeter. Three-point shot wouldn't go. And Masamba, who averages 7.5 points, is still yet to score in this one. Straunieks. There's Smits. Burton's pass, too short. And they grab it underneath Sweden. Tipped by Davis Bertens. And a fresh 14 for Latvia. Bertens from way outside off the mark. Borg. Latvia, after that 31-point quarter, have only scored 3 so far in 3.5 minutes here in the third. They're going to score here surely, though. Smits coming up with the steal, goes all the way through. Rollins rocks the rim.
5 points in the game.
Took it off Masamba, who mishandled the ball. And Roland Smits just said, get out of my way. Latvia by 6. With 6 minutes in the third to play.
For Latvia, and 32 athletes.
Painers is in for Latvia.
So
keen to make amends after his turnover. Borg to inbound for Sweden. And another turnover. Well, two teammates nowhere near on the same wavelength there. And Thomas Masamba, rather than make amends, just commits another. Back-to-back turnovers in the space of about 20 seconds from Sweden's number 9. They emphatically took advantage of the last one. Will they take advantage of this one? Pasechniks hands it off to Straunieks on the perimeter, and a foul called before the shot from Andrzej Pasechniks.
Thomas Masamba, second foul.
It's a foul on Masamba, who's not having a very good minute or so on court right now. 2 turnovers and a foul. It's his second in the game. Davis Bertens. Spin from Painers towards the baseline. Touched on to Straunieks, who floats up another. He set his radar perfectly this morning. 19 for Jānis Straunieks. Masamba Looking to dance through, kicks it back out, almost turned it over again, recovered by Gadefors. Gadefors, right-hand dribble drive, knocked away, he was stuck to like glue by Davis Bertens. Here comes Straunex. Cross-court pass to the far side. 8-point Latvian lead again. They'll try and take it to double figures once more. And a foul called is the second on Sweden in this third quarter. This arena has gone about as quiet as it's been at any point. Straunex with another delightful drive. Jonas Painus steps back, able to move it on. Lovely pass. Straunex attacking again, slices through the defense. Yanis Straunex hits 21. Borg. Sweden down by 10 again. They could do with something from Tobias Borg. He's off the mark, having hit his previous 2 3-pointers. Here's Straunex. And a whistle on the play. Yanis Straunex is now 8 of 9 inside. 9 of 12 from the field altogether for those 21 points in 21 minutes on court. Lomash moves it on to Yanis Straunex, who scored those points consistently throughout. Painers, wide open mid-ranger, over the top of the basket, nowhere near. Hackinson, Sweden's leading scorer, takes on the long 2, disrupted from behind by Rihards Lomash. Latvia with a chance to make this the largest lead of the evening. 4 minutes away from the end of the third quarter. Straunex is unplayable right now. The only way to stop him on that drive was a foul on Adam Ramstedt. 4th on Sweden with 4 minutes left of the quarter. Straunex to inbound over on the far side, moves it to Lomash. Straunex then moving it on to Pasechniks. Backing in, taking on his man. Baby hook wouldn't drop. That's for Sweden to burst forward. Hackinson. Oh, tremendous effort as well from Gadefors, attacking the rim. Every time he gets the ball, it seems he's only got one thought in mind. A straight line to the hole. Victor Gadefors had one like that right at the end of the first half. That time he draws the foul on Davis Bertens. It's the third on Bertens. A couple of them have been drawn by Godefors. And this is the first foul shot, though. And that's the first miss from the line in the game for Sweden, I believe. And correction, it's the second miss. He's missed both of them. It's the second, though. 8 of 11, and 9 of 11 from this drive. 9-point gap. 3.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Lomash, fans wanted an offensive foul, not given. That time a defensive foul. To infuriate them a little bit further. So Ramstedt. That takes Sweden over the limit. And the coach isn't happy either. Coach Vedran Bosnic, who's also head coach of Sweden's most successful club, Södertälje Kings. Players from that club make up 5 of the 12-man roster in this window for the national team. Kaspars Vetsvagars at the line. Latvia only 6 of 10 from the strike before that one. It is now the largest lead of the evening for Latvia at 11 points. Hakanson. Čerapović, back to Hakanson. Čerapović again to take on the three. Still a bit of inspiration. And it's their leading scorer in qualifying who steps up. 8 points the gap. Vetsvagars. Painers to Lomash. Far corner, takes on the three, misses it. Rebound grabbed by Gadefors. Hakanson. All that three from Čerapović spark a run for Sweden. Gadefors looking to bulldoze his way through the defence again and forces the foul on Pasechniks.
First foul.
Back in very quickly after a brief break comes Janis Strelnieks.
And number 13,
Hakanson to take on a three. That's a rebound that Gadefors couldn't cling on to. Two Gadeforses for Sweden, Anton and Victor. It's Anton who's come in, having played brief minutes early on. Čerapović moving it on. There's the other Gadefors. Good ball movement across to the far side. Three-pointer wouldn't drop again though for Anton Gadefors. Silins. Pasechniks. Vetsvagars looking to attack. There's Silins to take on the contested three. Good defence from Sweden as a team. Now can they build on that on the offensive end? Hakanson. Gadefors was calling for it, wants to take on Strelnieks, has the mismatch in terms of physicality.
Janis Strelnieks, first foul. Substitution Latvia.
Strelnieks has had the mismatch on everybody in terms of quality though. Tonight he's been brilliant so far, 21 points off 9 of 12 shooting. Gadefors goes to the bench. Čerapović. Chance one-on-one to take on Strelnieks, getting into the paint here, trying to find the pass. Caught under the hoop though was Ramstedt. Shot clock winding down now, they've got to put it up on the move. Floating to the corner off the top of the backboard. That'll be a shot clock violation.
Substitution Latvia. In for Latvia.
We're going for a little bit of a dry spell in terms of scoring here in the third quarter. Latvia leading by 8. It's only 11-8 in the quarter to Latvia. There's only 90 seconds left of it. Lomash has a foul underneath. And it's an offensive foul on Meyers.
Offensive foul, Meyers. Third foul.
Lindqvist was the defender, just pulled the chair out from underneath him. Meyers trying to back in. Ended up on his backside. Hakanson. Sweden could do with a big finish to the quarter. Hakanson. Lindqvist now on the offensive end. There's the pump fake driving in. Wasn't quick enough to get through the gap though. Final minute of the quarter coming up. Lomash crosses over onto the left hand. Forced back out to the perimeter. Still 10 seconds plus on the shot clock to work with for Janis Strelnieks. He only needs a split second to operate. Lightning fast crossover. Through he goes. Scores the layup off the glass. Beats them all. Strelnieks taking charge again. 23 points. Hakanson directing traffic. Three-pointer. Sweden desperate for it to go, but it doesn't. Latvia by 10 3-second differential between shot and game clock at the end of the third. Straunex will work with that time the best he can. Take those precious seconds away from Sweden. And look to execute right here at the end of the shot clock. Straunex high pass, can't connect with Meyers. So Sweden will have 4.3 seconds to try and make it a single-digit game at the end of the third quarter. And throw it up from centre court. It gets blocked by Sillins. Latvia are in pole position now at the end of 3, leading by 10 points. Yanis Straunex, the man of the moment once more, up to 23 points now, the Olympiakos man. Latvia leads 60 to 50 in the game that Sweden, you feel, have to win.
Vill man ha en t-shirt, då ska man vara med på noterna nu. Där kommer en härlig t-shirt-flygad också.
Sweden have fought to try and keep this one as close as possible, but it's going to be very difficult to come back from this deficit now against this Latvian team being led by Yanis Straunex and Davis Bertens. A couple of costly turnovers in the middle of that quarter from Masamba. That one taken full advantage of by Roland Smits. Yanis Straunex has been the standout MVP in this match. One of his many drives to the hoop. He's shown a full array of offensive skills with his shooting and his dribble drives. And he has 23 points across the first 3 quarters. Latvia leading by 10 with the better shooting percentages inside and out. Sweden better from the foul line. Latvian fans pretty happy at the moment. The second round of qualifying beckons for them. Turkey leading the Ukraine 40-36 at the moment in a game that started half an hour later than this one. If Latvia do win this one and Turkey do win that one, then Sweden are out even before they play on Sunday. 10 minutes to overturn 10 points. A sloppy start to the fourth quarter. Can they make it a single-digit game? Masamba. Borg. Birgander is trying to roll to the rim. Kick back out. Grabbed here by Lindqvist. Borg. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Borg twisting and turning and trying to find a way through. Putting all the moves on Sillins, who wasn't biting. Not even a little bit. Great one-on-one defense from Oyar Sillins. Meyers. Here's Straunex. Meyers getting the return pass from Straunex, who's pulling all the strings.
Alex Lindqvist, first of all, first round.
Martin Meyers just about getting the first to go. He's 3 of 3 from the foul line, 1 of 4 from the field for his 5 points so far. He's a long way from hitting the heights of his previous 2 games. In qualification, averaging 15 points. He's done the business from the stripe though. Latvia by 12 is their largest lead, and they force the turnover. Straunex. Meyers. Looking perhaps back for Straunex, he goes alone inside, turns around, can't get the roll around though. Borg, big let off for Sweden that time, and then a foul on Lomash. Sweden cannot afford to let this Latvian lead grow anymore. 8.5 minutes to overturn a 12-point deficit. Borg on the burst to the basket, got the contact, but not the drop. Eight points so far for Tobias Borg in 14 minutes on court this evening. He's 3 of 6 from the field. This is his first trip to the foul line, though. He had 14 points and 3 steals in the matchup in Riga between these two. And this is from the stripe. Sweden need each and every point they can get at this stage. Borg at least gets the second.
Tobias Borg, 9 poäng i matchen.
Rehards Lomash. Davis Bertens lines up another long ranger and knocks it down again. Davis Bertens with a big blow to the chin of Sweden.
16 points in the game.
He's 4 of 6 from downtown now, en route to 16 points. And on to cancel that out from the other number 8, Anton Gadefors. That is a huge basket for Sweden, just when they look to be falling out of sight. Lomash. Sweden need defensive stops sooner rather than later. They get one there of the contested 3. Birgander with the rebound. Masamba. That's the 3rd foul on Latvia already in the 4th quarter. Straunex.
In the game for Latvia.
2.5 minutes of the quarter played.
Let's Vegas. In for Sverige, Viktor Gadefors.
The second personal on Janis Straunex. Gadefors. Just about able to grab the ball. Can he finish? Yes, he can. Got the shooter's roll. Off the soft touch, Victor Gadefors. He's impressed tonight. Straunex to Sillins. It's a 9-point game. The fans have found their voice in Stockholm again. Straunex, can they stop him though? Crossing over one way then the other. Finding Mayers. Shot clock down to the final 3 seconds. Kicks it back out. Wide open 3. Bang! Kaspar Svensfagars makes it a 12-point game again. Optimism growing second after second of that Latvian possession from the Swedish fans, and then quickly shut down in an instant. Sillins grabs the rebound off the miss as well from Lindqvist. And then a foul on Gadefors.
Anton Gadefors, another foul. Timeout.
Sweden call a timeout, trailing by 12 again. It's tied the largest lead of the evening for Latvia. They need to do something pretty quickly, facing the prospect of elimination from the World Cup qualifiers.
Aggressive, everything, just with 30 we go red. That's one thing. All the time we are aggressive. Victor with big guy, we don't need the help. Yes, why help now? We help and they shoot 3. We stay with him and play. We score. No help from him. When you have the problem down, we go on some mismatch of you. Don't give them extra.
Ejam piespēle Mārtiņš, Žans agresīvs. Kāds pick and rolls ar Mārtiņu. Dāvs ir šeit ceļā. skatāmies uzmanīgi. Viņam nav piezīme norma. Dāvis kaut vai caur Dāvi atkal postā. Ja Mārtiņš dabūna postā, spēlējam, Žants skatās šo te, tik līdz viņi nāk palīgā te, Jānis te uz metienu.
Dagens publiksiffra 4120 personer.
Heads have dropped a little bit in this crowd in Stockholm, despite the best efforts of Victor Gunnerfors to lift hopes. Kaspars Vetsvagars quickly knocks Sweden back down to earth. Turkey leading by 9 in the final minute of the first half in Ankara over Ukraine. If these two games in Group B stay as they are, Sweden are done. Vetsvagars floats one up, puts it in, largest lead of the night, 14 points. And 5 quick-fire points from Vetsvagars. 9 points for him altogether. Masamba, nice pass inside, finished off by Lindqvist. Sweden not giving up hope just yet. 6 minutes to play, down by 12. Straunex stops on a dime, moves it back towards Davis Bertens, but turns it over. Now here goes Gunnerfors all the way through. Back-to-back scores for Sweden, back in business. Timeout called this time by Latvia. An uncharacteristic turnover from Straunex and Bertens, and Gunnerfors was there to finish. And just when it looked like Sweden might be done, they wake up again.
Ja vajag sabloķēties, Dāvis paliek sākumā pie centra, ja gadījumā vajag pa vidu pretī. Nākat šeit, Žants reiz iekšā, pretējā puses kāds, atdodam, ja vajag atdodam Žanim, nākam pāri, uzmanamies no double-team, ja? Pēc tam atnākos šurp spēlējam divi, Žanis ir šeit labajā stūrī, vienalga vai Kaspars vai Lomašs, kurš ir kā bombu. Nākam ar Dāvi.
Det kanske det är någon som sitter i publiken som tänker sig, ja, 10 poäng är mycket svårt. Hörrni, kom igen nu, nu steppar vi upp lite. Är ni redo på ny fas?
Sweden were down by 14. Back-to-back scores has got them back within 10, 6 minutes to play. Chance of defence from the thousands in attendance in Stockholm. Janis Painers. Here's Davis Bertens dialing up another. He has been electric from the outside. The San Antonio Spurs man. Now 4 of 6 from downtown. In fact, make it 5 of 7. He's up to 19 points. And taking on the scoring responsibility with Yanis Straunex going to the bench off the back of that timeout as well. Latvia up by 13. 5 of 7 from three-point range. 6 of 9 from the field altogether for Bertens. Watched on by his injured brother, Dairis Bertens, here tonight. And certainly making it worth the watch. Painers. Vetsvagars, left-hand dribble drive towards the baseline. Back out, here he is again, fade away 3, Davis Bertens can't miss right now. 6 of 8 from downtown for the number 8. Latvia blowing Sweden away from beyond the three-point line. 16 points the lead. They're shooting around 50% from the outside. And this place has gone very quiet indeed. Samba trying to get through, misses. Here's Vetsvagars. Burton's perched on the perimeter, locked and loaded again, misses one. Grabbed by Cherepovic. There's a foul, an unsportsmanlike foul called. As Gadefors tries to drive into the paint on Janis Painers, so that will be foul shots and then possession for Sweden. It's a glimmer of hope for them on an otherwise disappointing second half. They've scored just 18 points so far in the second half in, 15 and a half minutes. Gadefors adds one to that tally.
Victor Gadefors, 14 poäng i matchen.
14 points the gap. Off the back of the unsportsmanlike foul. Sweden with possession as well with Samba. Cherepovic looking to bulldoze his way to the basket, misses the shot after beating 2 or 3 of them. Gadefors steps back. He'll take on the 3 this time. Gadefors misses it. Grabbed underneath though. Third time lucky perhaps for Sweden. Off the mark on the other side from Anton Gadefors. Starting to look like Sweden need a miracle in the final 4 minutes. Vetsvagars moving it on to Smits, who forces it up and in and gets the contact as well. A chance of a 3-point play for Roland Smits. Latvia have a chance to stretch this to 17, which would make it the largest lead.
En dan 13 Janis Sterks. Op in matchen voor Sverige.
Roland Smits, who had 13 points, 7 rebounds and a block, as well as a steal against Turkey in the last game for them. He was 7 of 8 from the stripe in that game as part of that 13-point haul. And this is this one. Almost grabbed the offensive rebound. 16 points the gap then with close to 3.5 minutes remaining. Not quite mission impossible just yet, but very much mission improbable for Sweden. They need scores quickly. Out to the corner it goes to Persson, who's in for the first time. End of the shot clock, has to get it away. Somebody's got to throw it up. They do just about get it off. Can't grab the rebound though. Straunings. Only 1 point ahead of Burton's now. Those two have combined for 45 of Latvia's 78. Sillins from the outside. Rebound grabbed by Spires. Persson across to the far side. Here's Gadefors. Twisting and turning and finding a pass underneath as well. Put in by Spires. 14 points, the gap. Sweden staring down the barrel of elimination though. Smits. And there's a turnover. Only 2.5 minutes to play. It would have to be something quite remarkable for Sweden from this point on. Gadefors not giving up hope just yet. Håkansson then moved on by Cherepovic. He's not really stepped up too often this evening after a promising start. What a move that is from Cherepovic, though maybe too little too late this time. He's quietly racked up a double-double. Most of his 12 points scored early on though. He's only 5 of 14 from the field, Christopher Cherepovic. That was a delightful move though, dancing past the defence. 12 points the gap, but only a minute 51 to play, although Sweden do go to the line to try and make it a 10-point game. Ludvig Håkansson, who's there, 4 of 4 from the stripe so far. Sweden shooting over 80% as a team. It looks as though they're going to be close to Latvia again, but perhaps just falling short as they did in Riga when they lost by 9. 11 points for Hackinson. Painters. They need defensive stops. Straunex scoring again. Janis Straunex stealing the spotlight in Stockholm. Hackinson works the room and does brilliantly to score. 10-point gap, but only 80 seconds to play. Approaching the final minute. Straunex controlling the tempo as he's controlled the game. A foul called with 4 left on the shot clock. Janis Straunex taking those precious seconds away from Sweden. And Straunex will go to the line with Sweden at the foul limit to try and add to his 25 points.
Points
27 for Janis Straunex in 32 minutes on court. Hackinson. Here goes Persson. Not able to score. And Latvia, as the final seconds tick away, are approaching a point where they can celebrate qualification for the second round. Their job very nearly done, and they will officially be through to the next round if Turkey can beat the Ukraine this evening, and they are up by 14, Turkey in Ankara at the start of the third quarter, so a big possibility that one will finish with a Turkish win. And that would confirm Ukraine, Turkey and Latvia into the next round. Of course, they're still playing for important wins on Sunday, even if the top 3 are confirmed, because the teams carry their records into the second round of qualifiers. So each and every game still just as important. 34.6 seconds remaining. 12.5 second differential between shot and game clock at the end of this one. The officials having a look at something. Latvia with a comfortable bit of breathing room. By 12 points. They're checking something on this play. We'll watch the play wind on. And the shot clock's not budging, is it? 12 seconds on the shot clock. So in fact, it's a full shot clock's differential. Vetsvagos. 6 seconds to shoot for Latvia. Vetsvagos going all the way through himself, missing wildly. And 23 seconds remaining in Stockholm. Hackinson. Hangs on to it, will take on one more shot himself and gets it to go. He's still out tonight for Sweden. 15 points now for Hackinson. Janis Painters twisting and turning. They're missing at the buzzer, but Latvia are on the brink of qualification for the second round. Sweden are on the brink of elimination as they lose in Stockholm tonight. A very accomplished Latvian performance led by the two superstars Jānis Straunieks and Dārvis Bertens, who combined for 49 of their 82 points as they win it by 10, 82-72. Sweden then fall to 1-4 in Group B. Latvia improved to a winning record of 3-2. 2 wins clear of tonight's opponents. Turkey will also be 2 wins clear of Sweden if they maintain their lead in Ankara and beat Ukraine in a game that started half an hour after this one. It's in the third quarter. And so long as Turkey do win that one, Sweden will have their elimination confirmed this evening. Look at some of the stats. Sweden didn't shoot the ball too badly at all. 50% inside, 30% on the outside, 82% from the line, but Latvia shot it very well. Sweden got the better of the battle on the boards as well. A couple of extra assists for Latvia. Sweden 2 extra turnovers. Latvia 4 blocked shots. Sweden 0. It was a decent performance from Sweden, but Jānis Straunieks was just too good. And he will take all of the individual accolades tonight. 27 points. Sweden led by the 15 of Håkansson. Čeropović had a double-double with 12 points, 11 rebounds. Dārvis Bertens, a couple of blocks there, was the other standout player on court tonight. 22 points, as well as those 2 blocks. Dārvis Bertens, 7 of 11 from the field, including 6 of 9 from downtown. Straunieks 11 of 14 from the field for his 27, 10 of 11 inside. And those two, as you can see, combining for 49 of Latvia's 82. Look at the Group B standings right now. And Latvia top at the moment with that 3-2 record. Turkey and the Ukraine might well be 3-2 as well by the end of the evening. Turkey up big against Ukraine in Ankara right now. And Sweden just about done and dusted, 1-4. And Sweden started well in this one. They kept up with Latvia early on. A big second quarter from Latvia, scoring 31 points. Started to build a lead for them. They had double-digit leads on a couple of occasions in the first half, but Sweden were able to come back and keep it tight, at least until the finish. Čeropović finishing with that double-double. Another number 13, though, writing the headlines. Jānis Straunieks, 27 points on his World Cup qualifying debut. Victor Godefors was the other player to step up for Sweden. He finished with 14 points behind the team-high 15 of Håkansson. They also had the 12 from Čeropović as their 3 in double figures. But Latvia lit it up, shooting 52% from the field, 59% inside, 44% from downtown off 12 of 27 three-pointers. And they blew Sweden away in Stockholm. 49 points combined from Jānis Straunieks and Dārvis Bertens, playing their first games in World Cup qualifying. Those two combining for nearly 60% of Latvia's points as they beat Sweden in the Swedish capital by 10. It finished Sweden 72, Latvia 82. It's been a real pleasure having your company for this one in Stockholm. We'll see you next time.
here.